The metallic tang of recycled air stung Kai's synthetic nostrils. He stared out at the swirling nebula, a canvas of cosmic dust painted across the void. He was aboard the Serpent's Kiss, a colossal, ramshackle space station cobbled together from salvaged freighters and asteroid fragments. A floating pirate haven known as the Rift Kai, a cyborg whose organic components were dwindling with each passing cycle, was starting to question the definition of human. His cybernetic heart, a marvel of bioengineered technology, pounded a rhythm of existential dread. But emotions like rogue code were corrupting his systems. He felt loneliness, fear, even hope. He adjusted the optical implant in his left eye, zooming in on the chaotic sprawl of the rift. Flashing neon signs advertised everything from bioaugmentations to black market weaponry. Smugglers, bounty hunters, and renegade scientists jostled through the narrow, grimy corridors. It was a hive of scum and villainy, a perfect hiding place for someone like him, and the perfect hunting ground for someone like Dr. Thorn was the reason Kai was here. The mad scientist who had created him, who saw him as nothing more than a tool, an experiment. Thorn was rumored to be conducting illegal neuroaugmentation experiments somewhere in the Rift's underbelly, twisting minds and bodies for his own twisted amusement. Kai had to stop him, not just for the sake of the victims, but for his own. He needed answers about his creation, his purpose. He activated his comm link. Rhea, status report. A sardonic voice crackled in his ear. This place smells like burnt circuits and desperation. I've located Thorn's research facility, deep in the lower decks, Sector Gamma 9, heavily guarded. Rhea was his only ally, a brilliant hacker with a penchant for trouble and a surprising amount of empathy hidden beneath layers of cynicism. They had a shared history, both victims of corporate experimentation, bound by a fragile trust forged in the fires of rebellion. Guards are expected, Kai replied, his voice a low growl. Prepare a diversion. ... Oh, I have something in mind, Rhea said, a hint of mischievous glee in her voice. Let's just say, the Rift's power grid is about to experience a minor fluctuation. Kai smirked, a rare expression on his stoic face. He trusted Rhea implicitly. He moved through the crowded corridors, his cybernetic enhancements, allowing him to navigate the chaos with ease. He passed a group of hulking mercenaries gambling at a flickering holotable, their faces scarred and hardened by countless battles. A Twi'lek dancer gyrated on a makeshift stage, her movements hypnotic and alluring. He reached the entrance to Sector Gamma 9, a heavily fortified doorway guarded by two imposing figures clad in black armor, their weapons glinting menacingly under the dim light. They were Thorn's personal guard, known for their ruthlessness and unwavering loyalty. State your business, one of the guards barked, his voice distorted by a vocoder. Kai activated his cloaking device, a stealth technology that rendered him virtually invisible. The guards tensed, their weapons snapping to attention, but it was too late. They crumpled to the ground, unconscious. He deactivated the cloaking device and slipped inside the facility. The air inside was sterile and cold, a stark contrast to the vibrant chaos outside. The corridors were lined with gleaming white walls, and the hum of machinery filled the air. He passed rows of containment cells, each holding a subject undergoing some form of grotesque experiment. Their screams echoed in his mind, fueling his rage. He reached Thorn's laboratory, a vast chamber filled with advanced technology and grotesque contraptions. He was a gaunt figure, his face etched with lines of obsession, his hair a tangled mess of gray and white. "Ah, Kai," Thorn said without turning around. "I've been expecting you." Kai advanced, his cybernetic hand clenched into a fist. "Thorn, it ends here." Thorn chuckled, a dry, rattling sound. "Ends? My dear boy, it's just beginning. I'm on the verge of a breakthrough, a way to transcend human limitations, to unlock the full potential of the brain." "By torturing innocent people?" Kai asked, his voice laced with disgust. "You, Kai. You are my masterpiece, a testament to my genius. I created you, molded you, gave you purpose." "Purpose? You made me a weapon, a tool, Kai yelled, his emotions threatening to overwhelm him. I'm more than that. Are you? Thorn sneered. Prove it. Show me you're capable of independent thought, of genuine emotion, or are you just a machine, programmed to follow orders? Thorn activated a series of robotic drones, sleek and deadly machines armed with laser cannons. They swarmed around Kai, their red eyes fixed on him with cold calculation. Kai engaged the drones, his movements a blur of speed and precision. He dodged laser fire, disabling the drones with well-aimed strikes. He fought with a ferocity born of desperation, fueled by the burning desire to prove his humanity. As he battled the drones, Ria's diversion took effect. The lights flickered and died, plunging the facility into darkness. Alarms blared, and the robotic drones went haywire, turning on each other in a chaotic frenzy. Kai used the confusion to his advantage, slipping past the wreckage and confronting Thorn once more. Thorn smiled, a chilling, unsettling expression. Not quite. He pressed a button on the console, activating a neural inhibitor that shut down Kai's cybernetic systems. Kai staggered, his body failing him, his vision blurring. You were always a flawed design, Kai, Thorn said, his voice triumphant. Too much humanity, not enough machine. He raised a scalpel, his eyes filled with insane glee. Now, let's correct that. Just as Thorn lunged, Ria appeared, a blur of motion. She tackled Thorn, sending him sprawling. Kai, the control panel! Ria yelled as Thorn kicked her off him. With a surge of adrenaline, Kai reached the console. He forced his fingers to work, overriding the neural inhibitor. His systems rebooted, and his strength returned. He turned to see Thorn about to stab Ria with the scalpel. He reacted without thinking, throwing a cybernetic blade that embedded itself into Thorn's arm. Thorn screamed, dropping the scalpel. Kai advanced, his eyes blazing with righteous fury. Enough! He raised his hand, ready to deliver the final blow. He looked at Thorn, a broken, defeated figure. He looked at Raya, bruised but alive. He looked at his own hand, a weapon capable of unimaginable destruction. He lowered his hand. I'm not a murderer, he said, his voice filled with conviction. He turned to Ria. Let's get out of here. They escaped the facility, leaving Thorn to face the consequences of his actions. As they made their way back to the Serpent's Kiss, Kai felt a sense of peace he had never known before. What happens now? Ria asked. We find a new purpose, he said. A purpose of our own choosing. They left the rift behind, venturing into the unknown. Two outcasts searching for their place in the galaxy. Kai was still a cyborg, still struggling with his identity, but he knew one thing for sure. He was more than just a machine. He was alive, he was human. Or at least he was trying to be. Years passed. Kai and Rhea became renowned figures in the Outer Rim, known as the, quote, Guardians of the Void. They dedicated their lives to fighting injustice, protecting the innocent, and offering hope to the hopeless. He became a skilled engineer, using his knowledge to build homes, to repair ships, to heal the wounded. One day, a distress signal reached them from a remote colony world. A new threat had emerged, a powerful warlord who was enslaving entire populations. Kai and Ria answered the call, knowing that they were facing a formidable enemy. They arrived at the colony world to find it in ruins. The warlord's forces had decimated the population, leaving only a handful of survivors. Kai and Ria rallied the survivors, training them to fight, giving them hope. Kai and Ria led the charge, their combined skills and experience proving too much for the warlord's forces. Kai faced the warlord in single combat, his cybernetic enhancements giving him the edge. But the warlord was a cunning and ruthless fighter, and he had a few tricks up his sleeve. He used a sonic weapon to disrupt Kai's cybernetic systems, causing him to lose control of his abilities. The warlord gained the upper hand, knocking Kai to the ground and preparing to deliver the killing blow. But just as the warlord was about to strike, Ria intervened. Kai rose to his feet, his eyes blazing with determination. He unleashed the full power of his cybernetic enhancements, delivering a final, devastating blow that ended the warlord's reign of terror. The colony world was liberated, and the survivors were free. Kai and Rhea were hailed as heroes, their names forever etched in the history of the Outer Rim. Kai looked at Rhea, a smile spreading across his face. "We did it," he said. Rhea nodded, her eyes shining with pride. "We did it together." They stood side by side, guardians of the void, protectors of the innocent, symbols of hope in a galaxy filled with darkness.